Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Is the $300 a week unemployment booster actually holding back jobs? Is it actually causing people to stay at home and collect unemployment benefits and not go back to work? And is it by extension causing a labor shortage? In many cases, a labor shortage can be avoided. Folks, the answer to that question is yes and no. In this episode of Ignition Time, I'm going to try and get into all the gray areas because this is not a black and white situation. There are many shades of gray. In fact, the truth isn't black and white. The truth hides in the shadows. Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for participating in the rapid growth of our channel. I encourage you to please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications, because my goal is to bring you the truth wherever the truth might lead us. Let's start with this headline on your screen from CNBC. Is the $300 a week unemployment boost holding back jobs? The answer is both yes and no. I'll provide you with a link to this article in the description section below. As you've heard by now, many Republican governors, many Republican officials from the states of Montana, South Carolina, just for starters, and now that list is growing. Arkansas has joined that list. Missouri has joined that list. Arizona, North Dakota, many states are now joining this list. They are deciding to tell the federal government, hey, we're not going to take the $300 a week booster. We're going to end it early. We don't want it to last until Labor Day because that's causing a shortage. That's causing a labor shortage. Businesses are struggling to hire people, struggling to bring people back to work. Well, folks, the truth is, there is a threshold, and that threshold is $32,000. Anyone making less than $32,000, and this was reported by Bloomberg, is now making more money on unemployment benefits than they would be if they got back to work. However, this poses a much broader and a much more fundamental question. Is this actually discouraging individuals to get back to work, or is this acting as a lifeline for individuals who are not able to get back to their job? You have heard me talk about this before on my channel, and this is very important. There are two important factors. Number one, do you have a job to go back to? Is your job available? And number two, can you get back to your job safely? Now, if you can get your job back and you can get back to work safely, President Biden himself has said that you should not be on unemployment benefits and you will not be eligible for unemployment benefits. In fact, let's take a look at a segment with the President of the United States where the President says anyone collecting unemployment benefits who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits. It's as clear as day. Let's roll the tape and hear from the President of the United States. Let's watch.
We're going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits. There are a few COVID-19 related exceptions, so that people aren't forced to choose between their basic safety and a paycheck. But otherwise, that's the law.
The bigger question is, are unemployment benefits causing a labor shortage? Now, as far as the president is concerned, they aren't, which is a very interesting position from the White House. It's kind of like having your cake and eat it too kind of a position. But anyway, let's take a look at what the president is saying, which is unemployment insurance is not a major factor in labor shortages. Americans want to work. This really comes down to our willingness to work. More importantly, do we have a job to go back to? I think that is a bigger factor. And again, is it safe to go back to your job? Those are the two gray areas that need to be figured out, that need to be evaluated before a person can continue to receive unemployment benefits. And that, I believe, is the key. Which is why the answer as to whether unemployment benefits are forcing individuals to not go back to work, the answer is not a simple yes or no answer. The answer is both yes and no. Let's roll the tape first and hear from the president talking about his thoughts about how the unemployment benefit booster is not discouraging individuals to go back to work because, in his words, Americans want to work. Let's roll the tape and hear from President Biden.
I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that. That is a major factor. We don't see that. Look, it's easy to say, the line has been, because of the generous unemployment benefits, that it's a major factor in labor shortages. Americans want to work. Americans want to work.
And in some cases, it's not as simple as the availability of your job and safety. There are other global factors that are actually emerging. The big global factor is childcare. What if you're the parent of a young child and you don't have daycare and schools are not open, you're forced to stay home to take care of the child, and therefore you are dependent on unemployment benefits. So childcare is a huge factor that prevents people from going back to work. I have first-hand knowledge of many women who are simply not able to go back to work because they now have more childcare responsibilities. So again, if families have children, then somebody has to be home to take care of those children. This could be the mother, this could be the father, but the bottom line is, if an adult is required to stay home to take care of the child or work less hours to take care of the child, that individual is now dependent on unemployment benefits. And by the way, this is all directly tied to the pandemic because the pandemic has led to school closure. Again, this is not a clear-cut black or white yes or no answer. This is a yes and no answer. Another important factor is the pace of vaccinations. If vaccinations are going at a high pace in your community, in your city, in your town, in your county, then there is a high probability that more individuals are able to get back to work because businesses can reopen quickly. However, if the pace of vaccinations is slow, businesses won't reopen, employees will be nervous about getting back to work, employees will not want to put themselves in harm's way, and they therefore, because of the safety component that I mentioned earlier, let me go back to the two components: one, the availability of the job, and two, worker safety. If the pace of vaccinations is slow, then even if a job is offered to you, you are less likely to go and take that job because you're concerned about your own personal safety. So the pace of vaccinations in your town, in your city, in your county is an important factor. The third factor is early retirement. A lot of individuals are choosing to retire early as a direct result of this pandemic simply because this has forced them to reevaluate their priorities. A lot of elderly individuals have decided to move closer to their children, to their grandparents. A lot of elderly individuals have simply said, hey, I need to spend more time with my children and my grandparents. So therefore, what they've done is simply decide to retire early because they have reevaluated their own life priorities. And finally, another factor is online learning. If an individual is able to learn online, in other words, if they're able to learn new skills, let's say they learn how to code on a computer, let's say they learn new skills through online learning. You're here on YouTube, you're learning about the latest news and new trends from YouTube, which by the way is why you're on our channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. Online learning, being able to learn from sources, including YouTube, allows you to enhance your skills, allows you to learn new skills, potentially even reconsider your career options and shift and change your priorities long term. Maybe you've decided you want to shift careers. That has led to individuals deciding to not go back to their old job, relearn, retrain themselves, and then look for a new job, which in an interesting way allows individuals to shift careers and establish a better future for themselves while simultaneously qualifying for unemployment, because now they are looking for a job, they are searching for a job. So therefore, this is a gray area. This is not a black and white area. The answer to the question, are the $300 a week unemployment benefits holding back jobs? The answer to that question is both yes and no. There are multiple factors at stake here. There is the availability of the job, there is safety, there is childcare, there is online learning, there is a pace of vaccinations, and there is a new phenomenon of early retirement, specifically amongst elderly Americans. And a lot of younger Americans are also relocating away from cities. That is the evolution that is taking place in our country right now. Please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I hope you learned something new from this video. Thank you so much for watching. I work very hard on this channel. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. For me, my goal is to bring you the truth wherever the truth might lead us. I want all of us to escape the cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now, because no one wants to be dependent on unemployment benefits. My goal is to bring you the latest news about the country, the economy, as well as our money. Thank you so much for watching. Again, one last time, please click the like button. Please subscribe, please enable notifications. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.